Are some
doing.
people born with that hunger? Because sometimes you just see it lacking in somebody. What
Well,
causes
most
that
people,
lack?
I'll tell you the history of the world in 4 sentences.
Hmm.
Good times create weak people. You can study 1,000 years of Roman history. You can study 500 years of Anglo-American history. I highly recommend if you guys really want a perspective to help your generation, you should read The Fourth Turning or the book Generations. Two great books, Strauss and Howe. I was working with the President of the United States, Bill Clinton. In those days, I worked with him because I'm an independent. And then I went across the street and I worked with the head of the House, Gingrich, who was a Republican. And both men had this book on their desks. The president had it, and so did Gingrich, right? And Gingrich is a historian. So I read the book, and it was one of the most valuable books of my life because it put everything, it showed me that there are seasons to everything. And so I was waking up in a winter season. I was coming of age, 18, 19 years old, in a winter season, 78, 18% interest rates. So I studied my ass off. I figured out, I made 100 offers on pieces of real estate. 99 said no. It was actually 103. 103rd one said yes. I bought this piece of real estate, try to make money at 18% on a piece of real estate. Good luck, right? But all I knew is real estate was the way that you could build wealth. I grew up from nothing, right? But what happened was then I had somebody, I hired, it was so far away, the place I bought, I hired a little local management company to manage the place. And they called me one day and said, well, a guy said that one of the stairs broke and he fell and he wants $100,000. Well, it's kind of inconvenient. I didn't have that. I could have just let that end me. But I was relentless. You know, I was like, okay, I'm going to learn. This is painful. I'm going to learn. But the season will eventually change. So think of it this way.